This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center.
You two have come here to try to restore intimacy to your marriage.
This is insane. We're not 22 years old anymore.
I would like to assign you your first exercise. Tonight, I would like you to spend a period of time with your arms around one another.
I think we better stop.
Well, many couples have been there for whatever reason. Intimacy in the relationship gets put by the wayside.
You know, that would be so funny if it wasn't true. There are careers to manage. There's laundry to wash. There's a home to tend to. And don't forget about those little ones that are running around. They really demand a lot of your attention, too.
But you still don't want to lose that connection with your partner. So it's important to address it. And that's what we're doing today.
Your love life is certainly not something you want to discuss with the kids, right? Let's be honest. They really don't want to hear it either. So just for the next few minutes, might be a good idea just to shuffle them off into the next room. But it's definitely information that you are going to want to pay attention to.
So, do you feel like you can relate to that movie clip we just saw? Well, you need to know you're not alone. Sexual issues are more common than you might think.
As a matter of fact, recent studies show that 40% of all women experience sexual dysfunction, and so do 31% of all men. So, what can be done about it?
Well, many couples are going back to school to get back to the basics.
When it comes to sex, there are many different numbers. Here's a few from Women's Health magazine. A recent survey says most people have sex 103 times a year. 84% of women say they have sex to get their man to help around the house. On average, a person burns 200 calories. But the numbers weren't adding up for Samantha and Gregory Weeks. After 16 years of marriage, their sexual relationship suddenly suffered.
I think we were always very close as a couple, but like I said, we kind of lost this part of our life.
They turned to Loyola University Hospital Sexual Wellness Clinic for help.
I think opened up some different avenues of communication for us as a couple.
Couples spend 3 hours one night a week for 6 weeks, participating in different activities, including group discussions and lectures, some about nutrition.
Even just engaging in eating healthy and in exercising just helps improve your body image.
Yoga classes encourage couples to do things together.
It's something that we know we can do together for the rest of our lives.
And one-on-one and couples counseling helps uncover emotional issues.
So we can find out what they're coming in with as individuals, and then we can work to keep them together as a couple.
Homework includes what's called sensate focus.
And we remind them to basically to keep touching each other, even if they're just holding hands.
The Weeks say the Sexual Wellness Clinic has definitely recharged their relationship.
Everything's great, and we're just glad that we participated.
Well, experts say it's normal to experience intimacy problems such as not being in the mood every now and then. But if those problems become persistent, you may want to reach out for help.
Now, maybe you've gotten past all of the intimacy issues. As a matter of fact, maybe you downright enjoy sex. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're careful.
Were you aware that at least 50% of sexually active men and women will have a genital HPV human papillomavirus infection at some point in their life? That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
The silver lining, perhaps, the CDC reports in 90% of those cases, the body's immune system will fight off the disease, but it's going to take about 2 years. Wouldn't it be nice to not have to worry about HPV and other sexually transmitted diseases at all?
For women, that may soon be possible, and not just to prevent STDs, but AIDS too.
When Patrick Kaiser walks the halls of Northwestern's engineering school, he carries in his pocket the 5.5 centimeter ring that could revolutionize women's reproductive health care.
Women are really concerned about both of those issues, right? Unwanted pregnancy and acquisition of an STI.
And this is the first device for women ever developed that could prevent both. The flexible plastic ring contains a 90-day dose of 2 drugs. The clear segment, a contraceptive, and the white segment, an antiretroviral drug, which fights HIV and herpes. Kaiser says, think of it as a chemical condom, but condoms require cooperation of a male partner. The ring doesn't. Kaiser says the ring empowers women by giving them a tool they can use to protect themselves. In AIDS-ravaged areas, the impact could be dramatic. Worldwide, 35 million people live with HIV, and more than 220 million women would like to delay childbearing but aren't using contraception.
Now, the breakthrough wasn't the drugs inside the ring, it was the ring itself developing 3 plastics that could reliably release the 2 different drugs at different rates and in the proper amounts. Now, women are scheduled to begin testing the device this summer. Still, it could be 7 years before it hits the market.
Well, it's certainly groundbreaking research, but a device to protect against AIDS, how effective could that really be? Well, joining us today to shed some light on this new medical advancement is Pam Fleckenstein, who's the women's health clinician at Laurel Family Medicine, which is a satellite office of Peninsula Regional Medical Center. Pam, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
What are your thoughts on all this?
I think that's awesome that a ring can do this, something as simple as that. While I don't see it being huge necessarily in this country, I think in areas like he was talking about, South Africa, other African countries, Thailand, people where that have high rates of HIV that don't want a pregnancy, this is going to be groundbreaking.
But do you think people should really take a chance on this? I mean, this is HIV we're talking about.
My suggestion would be use the ring and use a condom too, if they're concerned. There are, couples that maybe one is infected and the other isn't, and that's everywhere. This would be a great tool for them to use to prevent transmitting this to their partner.
Now there is already a ring that prevents conception, birth control. How is this different from that?
This only prevents conception, and it has 2 hormones in it, the same hormones that you find in birth control pills, an estrogen and a progesterone. And that's all it does. It's low dose. It's not for everybody, but a lot of people really like the ring.
Now, for those in a committed relationship, this isn't necessarily something that you really need to be thinking about. But I was really surprised to hear the numbers of people who have intimacy problems. I mean, is there any way to prevent this?
I think the numbers are higher than what the CDC is reporting, actually, because I hear it daily from women. That's my job. I talk to women. And I hear it daily, primarily in perimenopausal and menopausal women. But I hear it in young women too that are stressed by young children, houses to take care of, jobs, things like that. They're too tired at the end of the day. And the perimenopausal, menopausal women have other issues. They have issues with declining hormones.
So what would you say to the women who just don't have the sex drive? The women who, I'm sorry honey, I've got a headache, or just simply ain't happening?
Well, I have some that tell me it ain't happening and they don't care. And then I have others that tell me they really want to keep their marriage alive and their husband's happy, and what can they do? So we talk about hormone replacement therapy if that's appropriate for them. We talk about bioidentical hormones, which might be something like a little GAM cream they can rub on their wrist. We talk about the type of hormones that are declining, like women actually have testosterone in small amounts, and sometimes when that's declining and gone along with the estrogen, they need that little boost. So that can happen too. We're very lucky in this area. We have a compounding pharmacy that can meet these needs. So we talk about that. We talk about counseling. We talk about couples counseling, and some say, my husband would never go. So we go by yourself, and then maybe he'll decide to come along if he understands what the subject is and what the homework is.
Okay, so from a guy's point of view, am I doing any good by saying, hey honey, let's have a date night?
I think that's excellent. That's a great idea because she's not quite so tired. It's a different environment. Maybe, say you go to Ocean City for a weekend or just a night, spend the night in a motel. Have time where it's just the 2 of you and you're not distracted by all the other things of daily living. And that helps. It sort of rekindles things, and you kind of remember maybe what it used to be like and why you liked it in the beginning. So.
And men really should understand it's not them. It really is a hormonal thing.
It is a hormonal thing, and occasionally you have the problem where it is the man and he has some health issues that may prevent him from feeling like he's satisfying his partner, and we just tell them there's alternatives to doing that. So
it's a difficult thing for couples to let go of, and they shouldn't let go of it.
And they shouldn't. No. And I mean, I have women in their 70s, and even one 81-year-old, she says, is there some pill I can take, honey?
Oh my goodness. How about that?
There's still interest, you know. I mean, we're human and
That's
we're
right.
kind of built that way. So we're not 22.
That's true. That's true. Thank you
Pam,
so much.
thank
You're
you.
very welcome.
And to read more from PRMC, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab.
Something else that can affect your health, germs. We all work hard to keep our kitchen clean, but are we working hard enough? Wait till you hear where bacteria is basking in your house.
And Jimmy, it's not just your house, but at work too. Up next, we're putting an office to the test to see what is covered in scum.
We are also putting the Hurricane 360 spin mop system to the test. Once you know it's dirty, you want to clean it up. See if the mop can cut your cleaning time in half just like it claims. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.